Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a spring look. I've pulled out some blushes and eyeshadow palettes from my collection that kind of remind me of spring. I really like spring summer makeup where I can start getting a little bit more glowy with my base. Not that I don't wear glowy bases literally year round, but you know what I mean. I'm going to start out with an SPF. This is the Coola Do Good Illuminating Serum Probiotic Sunscreen and has an SPF of 30. I recently picked this up from the Ulta Spring Haul sale, which is one of my favorite Ulta sales of the year, but it's just when a bunch of drugstore brands go on sale at Ulta. I don't think Coola is considered a drugstore brand. Well, they might be actually. I never considered them being possibly in Target or Walgreens, but I'm pretty sure Coola was all 30% off or 25% off, and this sunscreen definitely grabbed my attention. I love how dewy it is. This makes for an amazing makeup base, and I think that wearing it on its own too is so pretty as well. It kind of just gives you the most amazing glow. I've also been taking it down my neck and a bit on my chest area, but I think I'm gonna change my top after this, so I'm not gonna worry about putting product on my chest. Please someone let me know though if this reminds anyone of the Glossier Future Dew, because that would be just awesome. It even has an SPF. Now I'm going in with a tinted moisturizer. This is the Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator, and I have mine in the shade Light Medium Neutral. I don't know where my square AOA Studio mirror is. I was at my parents' yesterday, and I think I left it over there, which is unfortunate because this one is so yucky looking. But I recently posted a video where I swatch all of my tinted moisturizers, and this was one of the tinted moisturizers in my collection that I don't use very often at all, and I'm not sure why. It was such a good shade match for me when I was swatching them, and I know that the times that I have used it, I've really liked it. It's actually been at my parents' house for a bit, and when I go over there and do my makeup, I'm always just kind of why don't I use this? And that Coola sunscreen is a bit newer in my collection, so I'm still kind of messing with it, experimenting with it, seeing how it applies with makeup, and I've really liked it so far. I've not really noticed any issues with it. I think that makeup applies beautifully over top of it, and you can still see some of that glow as well. I'm very oily, so I am going to have to go in with a bit of powder for sure. But yeah, it's really beautiful with makeup as well. I think if you wanted to do the Coola sunscreen with a matte foundation or tinted moisturizer, that would be really beautiful as well. You'd kind of get a perfect sort of satin look, I think. I'm going in now with some concealer. This is the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I'm currently using the shade 4.5N. It's the shade that matches me the best right now. I'm just taking my sponge and blending it in. This has just become my favorite go-to concealer. I love it when I have a base on, and I love it when I'm wearing it on its own. It is just stunning. It is a perfect shade match for me at the moment. I do use 5 and 5.5 in the summertime, but the 4.5 is perfect for me right now. It's also my favorite under eye concealer. I just think it's so blendable and natural looking and creamy, but more on the thin side compared to other creamy concealers, and also not too thin because it does have a good amount of coverage to it. So that is the base that we're going to be working with today. I love how glowy it looks, but also just pretty much flawless, so I'm really liking that. I'm going to start working on my brows before we do the eyes, and I will definitely set my skin later, but I kind of just want everything to settle on the skin first. I'm taking my NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. I'm just going in with a really light hand, kind of just adding some hair-like strokes wherever I need a little bit of help. I'm now adding some brow gel to my brows. This is the Kosas Air Brow. I feel like mine lately has been smelling a little bit off, and I know unfortunately Kosas products just don't last that long. I've definitely seen chemists and stuff talk about how, preservatives are not a scary thing, especially in skincare and makeup. So yeah, it is a little bit unfortunate that sometimes the Kosas products just don't last as long because of that. They just are more of like a clean brand, so they're lacking some of those like longevity ingredients. But yeah, my brow product has been kind of smelling like kombucha a little, and I have a backup so I can use it. It's performing like, you know, regular, so I'm probably not going to switch it, and it's not been, you know, irritating my brows or like causing little pimples or anything, so I'm just going to leave it. But yeah, it's been smelling a little off. Let me know if your Kosas products end up smelling like, you know, a little strange after a while. I'm going to move on to my eyeshadow. I am taking a little bit of my Milani eyeshadow primer. Yesterday my family went out for a beautiful dinner for my mom's birthday. We went to the Restoration Hardware rooftop restaurant, and it was a stunning restaurant with amazing overpriced food, and I loved how I did my makeup yesterday for it. I'm thinking I might want to recreate the look that I did for my YouTube channel, but I did use the Milani eyeshadow primer, and I made a mistake of applying just a little bit like right underneath my eyes where my concealer goes. I applied a little bit of it. I just thought maybe it would, you know, act as like a little under eye primer, and my makeup, my concealer looked really rough underneath my under eyes, which stunk because the rest of my makeup looked gorgeous, and I was definitely able to fix it a bit before we left. I will not make that mistake again of putting excess eyeshadow primer underneath of my eyes because that was a mess. But my look otherwise was gorgeous. I loved my makeup last night. The palette I'm going to be mainly dipping into is the Peach Sea Soft Mood eyeshadow palette in Soft Coral. I recently rediscovered this palette in my collection and I just love it. I've always loved the look of it, but I've not ever really played with the shadows aside from like a couple of times when I first got it. But the matte shades in it are very nice, creamy, and blendable. But then you have these three gorgeous sort of shimmery glitter topper type eyeshadows, which I love. I love that eyeshadow formula where it's sort of like a really shimmery, very fine glitter topper. You can wear it by itself for kind of like a wet look, or you can wear it on top of some eyeshadow as well. To start out my look, I'm dipping into this very soft sort of pale pink shade. And I'm taking it on a fluffy brush and I'm just applying it all throughout the crease. It's gonna kind of act as a transition shade. On the same brush, I'm taking this sort of pinky mauve-y shade. It's like kind of like a medium tone, and I'm applying it throughout the crease again, but a little bit lower than the first shade that we used. So it's going to be mainly on the eyelid, but still following the crease. I wanted to swatch the shimmery shades in this palette. So you have this sort of deeper bronze, and then you have this really cute pink that kind of reflects like pink and gold. And then you have this sort of champagne shade. It's like a little bit deeper than a champagne, but kind of in that family. I just think each of these is so gorgeous and such a great like pairing for this palette. Also like that each section of the palette kind of makes sense. So you can make like an eye look with that, you can make an eye look with this, and then you can make a really cute eye look with this one as well. For my look today, I'm going in with the pinky shade that has a bit of a gold reflex to it. I'm just getting it on my pinky finger and I'm doing sort of like a press and blend motion. It's so pretty. The glitter is so fine. It's very much like a sheer glitter topper shadow, so it's super wearable. It's very soft. I really want to get my hands on some of the other palettes that they have. A lot of the K-Beauty products that I've used for videos and stuff, they really sit in my collection and collect dust. And it's like definitely my fault. They're not bad products. I just don't use them ever. But this Peach Sea palette in my collection caught my eye recently, and I've just been using it tons and tons. It is so pretty. Like, this eye look just on its own, and I might stop here. It's just so soft and beautiful. I am going to take this shimmery shade. I'm getting it a little bit on my pinky finger as well. And I think I'm going to pop a little bit of it in the inner corner. Getting a little bit in here too. So I've been mixing together some of my Suva liners. I've decided to mix together the Rose Gold shade with a little bit of Space Panda, which is their white, and then a little bit of their orangey shade from the Doodle D Duo. And I came up with this really cute light orange peachy shade. I'm going to align my eyes with this. I'm not going to talk, so this might be like fast forward. I just put like a little bit of water over top of this one because the line was like a little, it's a little thick. That helped. Like, I put a little bit of water on top and then like brush it away with a clean brush. It definitely helps to have multiple brushes, which I know that a lot of people won't have, but I do have two of the 620 Suva brushes, and then I have one, the Morphe M25-1 brush. I'm just kind of softening the edge a little bit because I'm not going to do a wing or anything. It's literally just going to stop at the end. No doubt I prefer colorful liner over black liner, like no doubt. I think that it's so much easier to use. I think that you can make like little mistakes and it's not as noticeable. Like, I 100% prefer colorful liner over black liner any day of the week, but I don't like that the colorful liner is so noticeable on the lashes. I do want to add a little bit more shimmer all on the lid just to make sure that that's not like hidden or anything. I know when I put my mascara on I'll feel differently and the look will look way better, but I was really liking my eyeshadow before the liner. The liner's still cute though. It's still cute. I'm going in with my ColourPop Level Up Lengthening Mascara. This mascara is bomb.com. If you do pick it up, I really do recommend that you curl your lashes beforehand though. It just goes on way better when the lashes are already kind of like going in an upwards direction, which I think could be said for like any mascara, but this one specifically works really well when its only goal or like mission is to coat the lashes going upwards and lengthening them so that you don't spend like too much time trying to get them going in the direction that you want them to go. If I didn't already have like black brown hair, I think that this look would look so pretty with brown mascara. But yeah, it would look a little silly on me, I think. I'm going in with my Persona Multi-Stick Bronzer in Dune. And I'm going to bronze my face with this. I'm still really loving the skin, but I definitely need to get a little bit of powder on. No, I think that the liner is very cute. I really like these Suva liners. I love that they're water activated. They're also very easy to take off. I never ever get staining from them. And I find them to be really easy to use, even though you do have to like use a brush and stuff with them. I really don't need highlight, but I'm still going to use this highlight. I really enjoy the Milk Bionic Glow. I have mine in the shade Virtual. And I'm going to apply some on the high points of my cheeks. I just think that the Bionic collection in general is so unique. It has such like a unique formula. And it really has been working with anything that I have underneath of it. Because, you know, sometimes with cream or liquid products, when you apply them over top of certain products, it like will just immediately lift or just look funky or kind of like repel each other. But I've not had that problem with the Bionic collection. They've just really worked with like everything that I've used with it. And I kind of want to get some on my brow bone as well. I'm going to start out with the Rare Beauty liquid blush in the shade Hope. I wore this blush last night to dinner and it was so pretty. It was like the perfect blush. That's where I apply it first. And then I'm going to press it out with a brush. This one is the Real Techniques Duo Fiber Contour Brush. Unfortunately, you can't get it, which sucks. But yeah, the e.l.f. Putty Blush Brush is pretty similar. Just not as thick. So I do like just always go back to this discontinued brush, which sucks that it's discontinued, but it really is something. I've also noticed that Real Techniques is not really having their like full brush collection at Ulta anymore, which is kind of wild, unless they are like not selling as many brushes as they used to. I don't know if anyone has any insight on that. I'd love to know. And then over top of the blush that we just put down, which obviously like it by itself is so pretty, but I kind of want to get into layering my cream and powder blushes. So I'm going to lightly go in with the Essence Mosaic blush in the shade Berry Connection. And I just think that this one's going to be so pretty on top. I just think that this is going to bring so much more longevity to my blush as well. And it's also just going to make it look very flawless. I might need to add a little bit more powder blush on later, but I am going to bake my under eyes a little bit. I'm using the Fenty Beauty powder for this, and I did this last night. My under eyes, well, aside from the eyeshadow primer incident, but my under eyes looked really great and flawless. Like my makeup last night looked so good. I really want to recreate it for my channel. And then even though I'm loving the look of this glowiness, I am going to press some powder right there. Swirling a little fluffy powder brush, and I'm getting the rest of my skin. Gosh, I really hate taking away all of that glow with some powder, but we'll put it back in a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more of my blush, but just the powder blush, and I'm just adding it like a little bit right there. I usually don't do under eye eyeshadow, but I do want to add some mascara on my lower lash line. So I'm going to just add a little bit of shadow down there, just the deeper crease shade that we used earlier. I'm a little afraid to use this mascara on my lower lash line, so I'm just scraping off like as much of the product as possible. This mascara is just so lengthening. Oh god, my lower lashes are so long. That like doesn't really look that cute. What do you think? For my lips, I'm going to line my lips with my LA Girl Sugar and Spice lip liner. My go-to. I'm going to try Petal. I'm not going to do any more Petal. I think I'm just going to put a gloss on now. Which one? Gosh, if this isn't so cute. This is the Milani Keep It Full in Prismatic Peach. Okay, very pretty. That matches like perfect with the cheeks and the eyes. So that's the look. I just need to spray down with some setting spray using my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip setting spray. It'll put back all the glow. Here is the look. I think that it does look really cute. I love how like fresh-faced everything looks. And the eyes. I think that the liner is cute. I do love doing a colorful liner. I think that the look would maybe look a little bit better if I skip the liner. You let me know what you think for sure, but I do think that still like the colors on my eyes and then my cheeks and my lips are pretty springtimey. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today while I got ready. I'm now going to go over to my parents' house because my mom has some stuff she wants to donate at the animal shelter. So we're going to take a ride out there. The one that we go to is about an hour away. We go to a more like rural county animal shelter to donate our stuff. Just because like the county that we live in, they do get a lot of volunteers and donations over there, but you know, like an hour out, they don't really get that much. So yeah, we are going to be bringing up some donations. This is the animal shelter that I got my cutie Wilma from, and Justin said that if there is another Wilma at the animal shelter today, we can bring them home. So fingers crossed there's another cutie. Anyway, that is going to be it from me today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed. Definitely go ahead and subscribe if you aren't already, and hopefully I will see you next time.